Although a science fiction series, Terratoo has been written in an attempt to stir the imagination of the marvels of the universe. If I say that believers in evolution are far right and believers in creation are far left, then I must also say that there are many who believe the existence of the universe falls somewhere between the two extremes. My personal beliefs place me almost direct center. The universe was created at some point in time and has evolved into what it is today. The universe began some 12 billion or maybe 13 billion years ago, the far right asserts. It did not just suddenly appear. It was created by some force yet undetermined by the far right, but accepted by faith by the far left. Not only was the universe created, it also came into being with definitive laws and characteristics. To those of you on the far right, can you really believe that anything so perfect just suddenly happened to come into being with a big bang? Consider an atom of hydrogen with one proton and one electron. Add protons, introduce neutrons, and add electrons. Each change you make produces a new element, and you think this just happened. Think about it. If you take two atoms of hydrogen, an explosive gas, and put these with one atom of oxygen, a reactive agent, you have a molecule of water, a necessary element of life as we know it. Take one atom of sodium, an explosive metal, mix it with one atom of chlorine, a deadly gas, and you have a molecule of salt, another ingredient necessary for life as we know it. Do you not wonder, could this all be by chance? Is it possible that this universe and the life it has created, with all its complexities yet steadfast and mysterious rules, could have just happened? Even scientific geniuses must admit that everything in this vast wilderness we call the universe obeys laws and set patterns. Man neither knows nor does he understand the majority of them, but those that we do understand are too miraculous in their complexity to have happened by chance. To those of you on the far left, do you really believe that the universe, with all its magnificence and all its fullness and beauty of life that we have seen on this planet Earth, was just miraculously created in 6 days? The Big Bang Theory tells us that, in the beginning, there was no light, for the gravitational field at the center of the explosion was too dense and powerful to let light escape. It also says that all matter that ever was or ever will be came into existence at that time. The Bible says, in the beginning there was no light, and the earth was without form. There was no form for the earth at that time, for it be another 8 billion years before the earth came into existence. Scientists and astronomers, beginning with the earliest of intelligent man as he gazed at the stars in wonder, have looked for planets in other solar systems, and searched for extraterrestrial life. Are we alone, they have asked? That strikes me as a question a kindergarten student might ask a wise man. How on, and please excuse the expression, God's green earth could we possibly think we are alone, or even think that we are the first or the most intelligent life in the universe? Earth has existed for only 1/3 the life of the universe, if we listen to the far right. That would seem to indicate that many forms of life exist in the universe, and given an 8 billion year head start, many of these life forms have reached an evolutional and technological level beyond our wildest imagination. Everything in our knowledge of the universe tells us that all things work by laws, so it would stand to reason that Earth was created in a solar system following laws that were already in existence for billions of years. If atoms are composed of definitive particles, many of which we have come to understand, would it not stand to reason that galaxies and solar systems do the same? Would it not also stand to reason that many, many solar systems have evolved in other star systems in the Milky Way and other star systems in virtually every galaxy in the universe? Protons and neutrons and electrons and a host of other forces unite to form atoms. Scientists equate what they know of the elements into facts, and I'm sure that all are intrigued by the predictability of the elements that increase with their understanding of the facts. Synthetic fabrics and alloys do not normally happen by chance. Nuclear reactions do not happen by chance, at least not on the planet Earth. They are created by man's understanding of the nature of the elements. The laws are predictable rules that man uses to manipulate the elements. As atoms and molecules are formed in an infinite myriad of combinations, then so must galaxies and solar systems be formed. Therefore, I would think there are not just hundreds or thousands, but possibly millions of planet Earths in this universe, and many of them are billions of years older than this Earth we call home. What does this mean? It means that life on these planets has evolved far beyond what we, as mere humans, can even hope to comprehend. We are, to say the least, the young kids in the neighborhood of the universe. If such beings exist, why have they not contacted us? Perhaps they have. There are many who believe that evidence of such contact exists. Perhaps such contact could explain the sudden rise in man's intelligence and accomplishments in the past 50,000 years. 50,000 years, the proposed 3 million years that has passed since man supposedly first appeared on Earth. Take this into context. It took man 2,950,000 or so years to advance from the trees to the caves, but only 50,000 more to fly to the moon. All this, you on the far right would say, happened by chance, by evolution. I wonder, did it ever occur to you that evolution is not by chance? The fossil fuels that have spurred the advancement of man, would they have been here except for evolution? Of course not. Yet they are vital to our advancement as a civilization. Without them, we would still be driving horse-drawn wagons, without even a suitable lubricant to grease the axles. Without fossil fuels, we would have no electricity and therefore no modern technology. Not only would we have no space program, but our most advanced centers of civilization would be no greater than that of ancient Rome in its prime. Is that by chance? Is it not possible that everything that has transpired on this planet Earth and the myriad other planet Earths that must exist are all part of a great plan? Is it not possible that creation uses evolution to complete its ultimate goal? Is it not possible that the universe exists by a master plan that the far right ignores and the far left oversimplifies? The Bible says on the first day and on the second day, etc. I wonder, how do you measure the length of a day to an infinite being? In hours? I don't think so. In eons? Probably not. In years counted in billions? I think we're getting close. The more we come to understand the universe, the less we realize we know of it. The more we come to understand life, the less we realize we know of it. The universe, and this includes life, is far more complex than the mind of man, even with his amazing accomplishments, can hope to understand for many, many years to come, if indeed he ever attains the ability to understand. I believe that we are no more than fledgling beings in a universe filled with life beyond our beliefs. We did not just happen. We are part of a master plan that perhaps we will someday understand. We are special. Our existence is not by chance. Our existence is by divine plan. In the book of Genesis, God says, "Let us make man in our own image." Please note, he did not say, "Let us create man in our own image." Genesis continues, "He breathed into him a living soul." Let me give an example of what I'm trying to explain. Say that my son and I are in a junkyard, and I see a 1978 Dodge Charger. The body is in pretty good condition with only a little rust. The motor and transmission are missing. I am impressed with the overall appearance of the car. I say to my son, "Let us buy this and make it into a race car." He smiles and agrees. With a lot of work and considerable cost, we add motor and transmission and other needed parts. Then sand out the dents and blemishes and paint the old car with a lacquered and reflective paint. At last, we succeed in turning it into a noticeable race car. The point I'm trying to make, my son and I took the old car and made it into a racing car. We did so by using the frame we had bought and the parts we had bought, and a lot of hard work. We did not create the car, nor did we create any of the parts we added to it. We made a racing car. We did not create it. God did not say, "Let us create man in our image," which would have indicated a new creature would be formed. He said, "Let us make man in our image." In other words, he changed a being that already existed into a new one. He breathed into man a creature that existed, a living soul. God's intentions were above reproach. The results of the intentions were unexpected. Animals by nature are peaceful if they are herbivores. but even they can become violent if they or their young are threatened. Carnivores, on the other hand, attack and kill if they are threatened, but mainly they kill in order to feed so they can survive. Many animals, especially carnivores, were killed to protect their territories or their assumed right to mate. Survival of the fittest, man would call it. Perhaps man has never truly recognized his own true calling in the universe. You know what an oxymoron is. A good example might be a wise fool. An even better example, at least in my mind, would be humane treatment. Humans are the most insidious of all creatures on the face of the earth, perhaps the most insidious in the universe. No creature known to man kills just for the sake of killing. No creature kills other creatures and calls it sport. No creature kills his own kind to rule empires. No creature, that is, except man. Let your imagination wander for a moment. Two male elks face off on a distant mountainside. One female watches in fascination. The males battle in fierce combat to determine which will mate with the female. Their heads and their horns clash together in ear-shattering, bone-crushing blows for endless minutes as each tries, even to the extent of giving their own lives, to win the victory and the right to mate with the onlooking female. Eventually, the strongest of the two prevails. At first, he stands triumphantly over his fallen adversary, relishing his victory. Then he walks to the female and nestles up to her, knowing she is his. Elks can't smile per se, but I'm sure the winner would smile if he could. The loser sulks and timidly retreats, watching in envy as his opponent mounts his prize. Again, let your imagination wander. Replace the two male elks with men and the female elk with a woman. Let the competition begin, but this time with a humane outcome. The stronger man defeats his opponent and wins the heart of the woman, and they walk off to live happily ever after as the weaker man sulks off in silence. Right? Wrong. The loser picks up a gun, kills his opponent, kills a woman, then kills himself. This is humane treatment? Again, men are the most inhumane of all the creatures on earth. And I would like to add my thoughts on the Big Bang Theory. For thousands of years there was a theory that the earth was flat. This was a theory accepted as fact. It was in error. For thousands of years there was a theory that the earth was the center of the universe. This was a theory accepted as fact. It was also in error. Now there is a theory that the universe began with a Big Bang. This is also a theory accepted as fact. Science is supposed to be founded on facts, and yet the scientific world now accepts a Big Bang as fact, when there is no definitive proof that it ever occurred. This is a disappointment to me. It is my personal belief that if astronomers gaze deeply enough, they will find in the center of each galaxy a massive black hole, and they will also find that not only are these black holes the destroyers of stars, but also they are the creators. They are the recycling bins of the universe. This is my theory. I have no proof, but then again, there is no proof that the Big Bang ever occurred, is there? Terratoo strives to present to the reader the complexities of man, his good ways as well as his evil. I hope I have succeeded. Thank you.